I'm going to talk about unit conversions, including unit conversions with respect to rates. So let me now list some pairs of equivalent quantities represented with respect to different units. So the first equation says that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. The abbreviation for foot and feet is FT. The abbreviation for inch and inches is IN. The second equation says that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. The abbreviation for minute and minutes is MIN. The abbreviation for second and seconds is S. The third equation says that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. The abbreviation for hour is HR. Now, the abbreviation for hours, plural, is HRS. Okay, so write this information down and let's do some examples of unit conversions. So, suppose that one wanted to express 24 inches in a different form involving feet. So there's 12 inches in 1 foot, so you might know that you need to either multiply or divide by 12. Sometimes people get confused about whether to multiply or divide by the conversion factor. Let me show you a way to do unit conversions that will hopefully prevent you from doing the wrong operation. So, would you agree that I could multiply any quantity by 1 and not change that quantity? Okay, so I'm going to multiply 24 inches by 1, but I'm not going to write it as the number 1. I'm going to express it as an equivalent ratio. Okay? The ratio is 1 foot to 12 inches. Okay? Why am I doing that? Because this will help you to make sure you do the correct operation. If the ratio is expressed correctly, the final new unit should be on top, and the old unit you should have two examples of the old unit, so you can think of it in a sense like the old units cancel and the only thing left is the new unit. All right, so what numbers do we have? 24 times 1 divided by 12, so that gives 2, and then we only have feet left on top, so the answer is 2 feet. All right, now let me do another example the same way, in case you didn't completely understand that example. So I want to do a unit conversion to convert 7 hours to the equivalent quantity with respect to minutes. All right, so I'm going to multiply by 1, expressed as the ratio 60 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, again, notice that the old units cancel, and the only thing left is 7 times 60, so 420 minutes is the answer. All right, now I'd like you to try one and use this method that I'm discussing now. I want you to convert 3 minutes to the equivalent quantity with respect to seconds. So do that now, please. Okay, I'll go ahead and do it also. So I'm going to multiply by the ratio 60 seconds to 1 minute. And just to make sure, the new unit is on top, the old units in a sense cancel. So 3 times 60, so the answer is 180 seconds. All right. Now, let me talk about the international system, sometimes known as the metric system. Okay, some units with respect to the metric system are for length meters, abbreviated with the letter M, and grams, abbreviated with a G. So meters are units used to measure distance or length. Grams are used to measure mass. Okay, and you could make bigger and smaller length and mass units by adding certain prefixes. Okay, the prefix kilo, abbreviated with a K, means that you want to make a new unit that's 1,000 times bigger. The abbreviation centi, abbreviated with a C, means you want to make a new unit that's 100 times smaller. The abbreviation milli, abbreviated with an M, the prefix milli, abbreviated with an M, means you want to make a new unit that's 1,000 times smaller. Okay? For example, 1 meter is about 3 feet. Okay? But if you say 1 kilometer, abbreviated 1 km, that's roughly about half a mile. Okay? 1 centimeter, that's about the thickness of a thumbnail. 1 millimeter is about the, 1 centimeter is about the width of a thumbnail. 1 millimeter is about the thickness of a thumbnail. Okay? And I can also express equivalent pairs of equivalent quantities with respect to different units in the international system. Okay, so for example, I can say that 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. I can say that 1,000 meters is 1,000 millimeters is equal to 1 meter. I can say that 1 milligram, 1,000 milligrams is equal to 1 gram. I can say that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. Okay? So write this information down and let's do some examples involving this information. So let's have you try to convert 2,300 meters to an equivalent representation with respect to kilometers. So do that now, please. Okay, I will go ahead and do it. So I'm going to multiply by the ratio 1 kilometer to 1 meter. Excuse me, 1 kilometer to 1,000 meters, right? And so the old units in a sense cancel and the new unit is left on top. So I have 2,300 times 1 divided by 1,000. That leaves 2.3 kilometers. All right? How about this one? Can you convert 537 centimeters to meters? So try that now, please. All right, I'll go ahead and do that. So 537 centimeters times 1 meter to 100 centimeters. And again, quick check. The new units on top, the old units in a sense cancel. So we get 537 times 1 divided by 100 gives 5.37 meters. Okay, and how about one more? So pause the video and try to convert 50 milligrams to an equivalent representation with respect to let's see, how about grams? Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that now. So 50 milligrams multiplied by the ratio 1 gram to 1,000 milligrams. And quick check, the old units in a sense cancel, and what do we have left? We have the new unit on top. 50 times 1 divided by 1,000, that's equal to 5 divided by 100, so 0.05 grams. Okay, now let's talk about unit conversions involving rates. So suppose a cart was moving at the speed 3 kilometers per hour. And suppose we wanted to know what the speed was in meters per second. Okay, so rates have 2 units involved. All right, what I would suggest is convert each unit separately. Okay, so think of this as 3 kilometers that need to be dealt with and 1 hour. Okay, so 3 kilometers, let's convert that to meters. 1,000 meters to 1 kilometer, and so that gives 3,000 meters. 1 hour to seconds, so 1 hour times the ratio let's do in an hour there's 3,600 seconds. Okay, so 3,600 seconds to 1 hour, and that gives 3,600 seconds. All right, now that you've dealt with each unit separately, now you can get an equivalent rate. So 3 kilometers per hour is equivalent to 3,000 meters to 3,600 seconds. All right? Or 30 meters to 36 seconds. Let's divide the top and bottom by 2, and that gives 15 meters to 18 seconds. So the best I could do is 5/6 meters per second. Okay? Now, let's have you try one. So remember, you convert each unit separately. So convert 3 grams per second to kilograms per hour. Okay, if you're wondering about where one would use grams per second. So imagine somebody was eating food. Okay, and we could say how fast were they eating their food? Maybe they were eating 3 grams a second, and we wanted to know how many kilograms every hour. Okay, hypothetically. All right, so pause the video and try to give me the equivalent rate in kilograms per hour, please. Okay, I'll go ahead and work it out as well. So 3 grams is equal to, let's see, I'm going to multiply by the ratio 1 kilogram to 1,000 grams, and that gives 0.003 kilograms. And 1 second, I'm going to multiply that by 1 hour, 1 hour to 3,600 seconds, and that gives 1/3,600 hours. Okay, and so now putting it all together, the original rate, 3 grams per second, is 0.003 kilograms to 1 over 3,600 hours. Let me rewrite that as 0.003 times 3,600. I multiplied the top and bottom by 3,600, okay? And that's kilograms per hours, okay? Kilograms per hour, yes, okay? And so you can simplify that. You can do the multiplication, find the product, and you will get 10.8 kilograms per hour. All right? Now, let's close with one more example. Would you please convert 3,000 milligrams per kilometer to grams per meter? All right? Now, if you're wondering where you would see a rate like 3,000 milligrams per kilometer, so think about somebody eating food while they're driving on a freeway. Okay, so every time they drive 1 kilometer, a distance of 1 kilometer, they're consuming 3,000 milligrams. Okay, that's just a hypothetical example. So we want to express this rate in the form of as an equivalent rate with respect to grams per meter. How many grams they consume every time they drive 1 meter. Okay, so pause the video and do that now, please. Okay, so I'll go ahead and work it out now as well. So 3,000 milligrams . 3,000 milligrams is equivalent to 3 grams. 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. Okay, so the original rate is 3 grams to 1,000 meters, or 0.003 grams per meter. All right?